And welcome race fans to another round of a Smoky Mountain late model stock car tour here on CRN. And tonight, another round of playoffs here at Hickory Motor Speedway. This time they have two races to be into the top six before their drop. We're going to be on this 0.34 mile track for 150 laps after obviously our inaugural little heat race that we do. But it's going to be a good one here as we're finishing up the season. Three more races remaining after tonight here at CRN with the Smoky Mountain Late Model Stock Car Tour for this season, and then we will see where next season takes us. But for now, we're out here and getting some good laps in. We'll go ahead and clear this off your screen here. Now we're going to have a nice night here in Hickory. And we're going to go ahead, I'll bring up where everybody's kind of standing here as they're finishing up practice right now. And Mark Stewart on top here with a 13.958, just over Christopher Smith and Brandon Elvis. And then we have Dale Ogburn in here in the number 33. And then Brandon Cooper, James Honeycutt, Clint Walker, Lucas Whitehead, Rob Hattenbeck, Boston Cooper, Jonathan Carter, Larry Hansen Jr., and Christopher Cash. 13 drivers here scheduled so far tonight, with a few minutes remaining for this session to basically close for qualifying. But before we go any farther, I need to bring in my co-host. He's here on time today, as I'm sure he finished up his ball games with his children. But Derek Sherman, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, Jimmy. Glad to be here on time this week to watch qualifying and the last little bit of practice. Excited for what tonight's going to entail. Looks like Mark Stewart and Christopher Smith been putting in a little bit of practice. Dale Ogburn, haven't seen him in a hot minute, but glad to see him back this week. So, you know, by the looks of the times, it's going to be real close tonight. Not too far off from the fastest lap to the slowest guy. So, I mean, it's going to be a good one tonight, Jimmy.
Definitely going to be a good one, Derek, as, you know, we're, like I said, winding down these playoffs. Only a few races remaining here for the late model stock car tour. And, you know, the drivers have been doing a pretty good job. Obviously, the people eligible for the championship is, you know, starting to dwindle here as we wind down these last few races. Obviously, we got tonight and next week will count towards the top six, and then we'll eliminate another two drivers before we have, I believe it's going to be three for the remaining for that last championship race. And it's going to be a good one. We've had some good races. We've had some cautions plagued some of the races, but this is it's short track racing, and it's kind of, you know, its thing. And these drivers are competitive, and they're out there trying to do the best they can, and you know, put their time in. You see some drivers like maybe practicing a little bit more, and trying to come around and you know, win this thing or bring it home. But right now, let's see, I think, let's see if I can see last week's race results. You know, we had some good finishes there. And then our point standings here, I'll go ahead and I'll pull those up, see where we stand. But right now, it is Justin Coleman on the top. Then Brandon Elvis, Christopher Smith, Todd Lampier, Larry Hansen Jr. For that top five. And then tied for sixth, Brandon Cooper, Mark Stewart, James Honeycutt. Mark Stewart, and then James Honeycutt is your last driver in the playoffs right now. So a few drivers tied for that sixth position right now. So you got basically, you know, a bunch of drivers trying to make sure they make that cut, but pressure is on Justin Coleman as he has you know, that little bit of lead over his teammate Brandon Elvis. And it's going to be another good one here. But qualifying is over. Yeah, qualifying is over. Practice is over. Qualifying has begun. And we will go ahead and watch some of those drivers get out on the track. We will go with Mr. Christopher Cash, the league owner, puts this thing together and does a lot of work for all these drivers. And Chris has had a run of kind of like bad luck, just kind of getting stuck up in maybe some incidents, that he hadn't created, but kind of damaging the car. But out here tonight, looking to get a good time in right now with a 14.327, so not too far off. Rob Hattenback with a 14.1, so I think this field's going to be extremely close here tonight, Derek.
Yeah, Jimmy, Christopher has had the best of luck. I know last week wasn't his track. He just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't fitting his style of racing, but still participated. Got caught up in a couple things. Probably finished a little worse than what he wanted, but it's the playoffs. So it's you got 10 people in the playoffs. You got 4, or what is it? Yeah, no, round of 8. We're right. I'm right. No, yeah,
round of 8.
Round of 8. Sorry. So 8 are in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting because those last 2 spots are going to be crucial because the points between 6th and 8th is 10 points. I mean, that's the difference between those guys. And then, between 3rd place and I'd say back to 10th is probably 24 points. So, it's not very much there. 25 points. You got to come out, compete, do well, not cause any accidents, cause yourself, get those penalty points because those are going to be crucial. If you get a playoffs penalty points, you miss the playoffs by less than 5 points or 10 points. If you got 2, then there you go. You lost the playoffs because you probably put yourself in a bad position, or it was deemed your caution. So I will say it's going to be a fine line between aggressiveness and being safe, not trying to make sure you might put your bumper, might cause you to get some penalty points. But other than that, the track's cool tonight. It's a brisk 30 or 69 degrees. It's going to have ample amount of grip. You're going to be able to run some fast times. Going to be able to probably battle hard on the outside. Beating Doorbang as we see the Brandon Cooper machine going around on my screen. So Christopher Smith out here running right now, putting in a 14-016, good for 3rd place. Jimmy, there's only 400ths of a second between 1st and last place, and so it's going to be a very tight race. Who can save their tires? Who can maintain it and get up there as quickly as possible? So
last week's winner is starting almost shotgun to the field there. Actually in that 13th spot. One driver is still remaining to get a time in. Got about another minute remaining there for Austin Cooper to get a time in to see where he will start tonight. But a few drivers making kind of a sort of a comeback here. Good to see Ogburn out there, and I see Lucas Whitehead out there as well. So it's good that the drivers have come back and had time to come back to the series, put a little bit of field on. But the 12 coming across the line there sideways, getting in a 14.274. So not too bad of a time, but really pushing that car. So I look to see these drivers push the cars tonight, but like I said, 150 laps here. They can go by really quickly, as the laps times are in that 14-second time area. So it'd be nothing to see this race kind of dissipate and be done for the evening. So, but it can take a little bit longer with the cautions and whatnot. But right now we will get ready to close out qualifying, and it looks like Brandon Elvis will start on the pole here for the heat race. So that is just the set lineup is just for the heat race here, and we'll go ahead and run that real quick here to show the results of qualifying. And obviously Brandon Elvis on top over Dale Ogburn. Christopher Smith, Brandon Cooper, Mark Stewart, Clint Walker, Rob Hattenback, Larry Jr., James Honeycutt, Lucas Whitehead, Jonathan Carter, Christopher Cash, Austin Cooper, and Justin Coleman for our 14-car field. So 7 rows of cars, front to back, separated by mere tenths. And it's I know these guys want to win, but I know that championship is starting to weigh on some of these drivers' mind. Obviously, Brandon Elvis wanting to finish well after getting wrapped up in a pretty good debacle a couple weeks ago. But his teammate tonight is starting in the back. So Justin Coleman is going to have his hands full to drive through the field and get up there with his teammate, and we'll see how he does for this heat race. Obviously 20 laps for these drivers to settle in their finals beginning spot for the main event. So we will watch as these drivers are getting in their cars, taking the field right now, and getting ready to go racing.
Jimmy, it's going to be interesting to see the drivers that are not in the playoffs, like Dale Ogburn, Clint Walker, Rob Heidenbach, Jonathan Carter, Lucas Whitehead, Austin Cooper, Christopher Cash. See what they can do. I mean, because like if Brandon Elvis like they finish where they start right now, I mean that's at least a 2 spot lead over Christopher Smith, points advantage wise, that he would have over him just if they were on even points. I mean that's crucial. I mean, to get an extra free spin and he doesn't get those those extra points. So if you're a playoff driver, you don't want no non-playoff drivers in front of you and everyone behind you. So I mean that'd be crucial for that. So as the pace car is going to pull off, Jimmy, a good old Barney's going to wave that green flag, and we're off as Brandon Elvis hits the loud pedal going into turn 1. Christopher Smith is going to be on the outside or inside, and Dale Ogburn is going to be on the outside. And that number 1 car, he's going to he seems like he's going to be fighting a little bit. Christopher Smith can't quite pass him. He's going to pull on the outside. Oh, Jimmy, this is going to be interesting to see. They're side by side. See if the top lane's going to work tonight at Hickory Motor Speedway.
And as it has a great possibility of working, is the track is wide enough. Obviously, you see these drivers are running into YC02 of Clint Walker falling to the back there as the 3 of Lucas Whitehead makes his way around him. But up front right now it is Brandon Elvis, followed by Christopher Smith, Dale Ogburn, Mark Stewart, and then we have a crash here, bringing out a caution with 17 laps remaining with Jonathan Carter. So we'll go back, take a look back, see what happened to Jonathan Carter, as see what happens to that number 5 car as he is fighting side by side with the 02 of Clint Walker. And 5 is just going to get a slight touch by the 69 on that left rear bumper. Going to send him around as the 014 checkup. Doesn't look like too much damage, but it's going to set the 5 back just a few positions as that caution here came out with 15. Right, currently with 15 laps to go. So that happened on lap 4. And like I said, these pace laps go by pretty quickly.
Jimmy, I was just thinking about this and trying to get all the maximum points you want. Who of the playoff drivers is going to fall back to the back so they can get the most points, like get that extra point for passing the most cars or the biggest mover of the race? I mean, I know it's hard. We got 150 laps. We got a couple stage breaks in there. We can see how things go and whatnot, but I mean that is an interesting strategy point if you're closer to the back, like James Honeycutt or I think Brandon Cooper and Mark Stewart. Like, what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
It definitely makes big sense trying to be that biggest mover of the race. 150 laps is quite a while, but it is does take patience to get up to the field. So right now we're on with 13 laps to go. We'll be coming to go. Be going green this time by with 12 laps remaining. As you can see how fast the laps will dissipate here. But at Brandon Elvis on the green pedal coming out of turn 4, crossing that start finish line. Christopher Smith's going to try to run that outside. He's come down to the inside, trying to get a run on that number 54. Trying to get going here up front, but keeping it clean. The 1 and the 88 of Mark Stewart battling side by side along, and also behind them you have Rob Hattenbeck and Brandon Cooper fighting side by side as well. So and then you have James Honeycutt looking to move that 76 in a position tonight. As the Goodrich boys are all out there. We got a white, a silver, and a black Goodrich. The throwbacks to Dale Earnhardt with all the paint schemes there from Goodrich. And they're doing some great battling back here mid-pack around 6th, 7th, 8th. But back up front with Brandon Elvis. Has the position over Christopher Smith here with only 9 laps remaining. The battle right here for Pete, number 3, with Dale Ogburn and Mark Stewart is brewing a good one here as they continue to battle lap after lap.
It's good to see everyone battling up nice and clean, trying to battle for every position, trying to figure out what's going to work for them, what's going to work for everyone else, and see how hard, I mean, if this is the time to do it. As you can see, the 014 and the 76 getting a little rowdy, bouncing off each other in the corner. But as Justin Coleman is trying to make the pass on James Honeycutt for that P number 8 spot, or P number 9. So, I mean, a good hard racing. James Honeycutt's holding his own on the outside, not, giving him plenty of room on the outside. It's not easy to do. He's just there enough to not allow Justin Coleman to get in front of him. Oh, as Justin Coleman might have the edge on this coming out of turn 2, Jimmy. Next battle.
Justin Coleman was able to go ahead and make that pass as Larry Hensley now on that outside with a 12 of Austin Cooper looking to take that position away from him for a P number 10. As it's kind of hard, it's hard to get that outside line going, and as they got some pretty good grip as 12 and the 13 bang there just a little bit right there in front of Clint Walker and Christopher Cash. But back up front here with 3 laps to go, it is Brandon Elvis over Christopher Smith and Dale Ogburn, and Mark Stewart sitting right behind Dale. Knowing that there's only 2 laps remaining, I'm not seeing too many super close battles pushing each other right now. I'm watching the field. Everybody's single file. So the 88 of Mark Stewart going to make one more attempt here on the final lap to try to take away P number 3. But right now it is all Brandon Elvis looking to start on the pole here tonight for the main event, and followed by Christopher Smith, Dale Ogburn, Mark Stewart, Brandon Cooper, Rob Hattenbeck, Lucas Whitehead, Justin Coleman, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper, Clint Walker, Christopher Cash, and Jonathan Carter, and then Larry Hensley Jr. So I think Larry got moved to the back just a few spots there towards the end. Well, actually, it looks like he finished in 13th. So now these drivers get a little bit of time and go out there and get some warm-ups in if they want to, but it's just a few short minutes before we grid back up and head back out there for 150 laps here at Hickory.
Yeah, Jimmy, a quick story. I used to live just south of Hickory, and it's funny because everyone has the Dale Earnhardt throwback paints tonight, which is kind of cool because considering it's Hickory, and the fact that Dale Earnhardt's last remaining dealership, it's been a few years, but I'm pretty sure it's still there, it sits not too far from that racetrack. It sits probably 5 or 6 miles away from there, if maybe a little closer, maybe a little farther, but it's not far at all. It was probably one of the coolest things that is stuck. I see pictures all the time of people buying cars from when it opened back in the early 90s or mid 90s, and to be honest, the place looks the same as it did back then. So it's just a tribute to how well they kept that place up and really didn't change anything on it. So just a cool tidbit of racing of the Dale Earnhardt schemes tonight. So
yeah, it's been It almost seems like yesterday Dale was still around. I was, at the tracks watching him, get his wins and his impressive moves and all his accomplishments, and to have a racing legend like that, leave so early. It was, obviously a big shock and to the world, and he'll never be missed. And I think the Good Wrench will be iconic to that number 3 forever. For many, many, many years to come. But plenty of obviously other drivers out there. I used to watch Davey Owls and Ernie Irvin, Sterling Marling, Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd and Harry Gant, and just to name a few. So that was my time frame where I grew up watching a lot of these NASCAR drivers. But times have changed, and I probably don't even know if I can name very many, and many at all, as far as the new racers go. Just kind of lost touch with some of the more current NASCAR stuff. But that's kind of brings me back to iRacing, and everybody kind of gets to live their childhood as a hobby through iRacing, visiting these older tracks, and some of the tracks that are already gone, some that are still around. And but right now, we have a minute remaining for these drivers to get a couple more laps in to see what they can do, and maybe practice an entry or two for the pits if need be. But I don't think that's going to be an issue with the stage breaks, allowing these drivers to kind of come in and get tires or fuel or whatever they need to be. But pretty short pit road and very short entries, so hopefully the drivers are communicating with each other tonight if they need to come in, so they don't cause any unwanted yellow flags to fly here tonight. Shooting for obviously a green for from start to finish. I know these drivers have it in them, and but with as competitive as these drivers are, the slightest of touches on that rear bumper really does upset the car, and it does spin it around. So either way, the warm-up is over. The main event, it is time for that to be here and for us to sit back, relax, watch these drivers put in their best efforts here tonight to see if they could further their advancement in the end of the season here with the Smoky Mountain Late Model Stock Car Tour. Obviously starting here with Hickory. So yeah, this is basically the race of 8 right now, and we'll be watching those drivers, and hopefully we'll be able to get an idea who's where when it comes down to the end of the night. Like Derek was saying, those last few drivers only separated by a few points, and with a few drivers out there that are not within the points, in the points running. So you got the 33 of Dale Ogburn out there right now, and he's not within the points, but so he'd be looking for go for a win here tonight. Rob Hattenback, Lucas Whitehead, Austin Cooper, Clint Walker, Christopher Cash, and Jonathan Carter. So there's plenty of drivers out there, and it can mean going from the number 1 spot all the way back, maybe sitting in 5th or 6th. So we'll see how tonight goes.
I was just doing a rundown of everyone that's here tonight and bouncing off. I thought there was someone missing. Todd Lamphere's not here tonight, so I mean, he was sitting pretty too. He was 14th. He was a 4th with a 13th lead over at Larry Hensley Jr. And I don't know the points, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty hard for him to make up that deficit for next week. So unless a miracle and someone else doesn't show Jimmy, it looks like Todd Lamphere might be having an early exit by missing tonight's race.
Yeah, I mean, he does have tonight and next week in order before they drop to the round of 6. So the next 2 races will count. So nobody's out. The top 8 are not out until after the completion of next week's race. But right now, the pace car is heading in. Brandon Elvis will take the flag from Barney as they head down to turn number 1. Christopher Smith on that outside, and You've seen early how strong that inside line is, and getting stuck on the outside, you really got to battle pretty hard. Right now, that one of Dale Ogburn is looking to take Pete number 2. The number 8 is going to get a good enough run down below the 80 of Christopher Smith, not allowing him to drop down. So you have the 80 and the 88 kind of stuck up on that outside because of Brandon Cooper down that inside, looking to make a move and make his way up the field here, continue his run for a championship, keeping himself in the hunt. So, but right now it is the 54 of Brandon Elvis out front over Dale Ogburn, Christopher, Brandon Cooper, Mark Stewart, Lucas Whitehead. Mark Stewart nosing out Brandon Cooper there for just a second as they keep battling back and forth right there in front of Lucas Whitehead. We can hop on board with Lucas Whitehead and watch that battle in front of him as the 8 and the 88 are side by side.
Yeah, Jimmy, this is just a great shot. Lucas Whitehead has nowhere to go other than try to pick the guy that might have the run off the corner, so that way he might have an opportunity to make that pass. But right now, Brandon Cooper and Mark Stewart are side by side, and just big old roadblock in front of Lucas. So if I was Lucas, this would be the time to chill, save my tires. I did get word that we are going to have state breaks at the lap 50 and 100, Jimmy. So looks like 50 laps or so are going to be the longest we would have to go on a set of tires tonight. So it's going to be interesting.
9 laps already in the books, just like that, as the field is starting to go single file. But Lucas Whitehead got underneath the 8. They tap, but collect it and keep things moving. You can see the 014 of Justin Coleman continue to work his way up to the field here. We'll try to use that outside. Tumbleweeds here in Hickory.
That was a wham bam. Thank you.
Yeah, wham bam and flippy tipsy topsy, but the 8 and the 3 get together. The 3 goes for a ride up and over the 014 right in front of the 76 of James Honeycutt. Not what he wanted to see. Is able to avoid that flipping mess of the 3 as it goes around and comes back and settles on its tires here to cause out this caution on lap 11. So Lucas Whitehead now down in the pits with that number 3 as he towed off the track to get out of people's way and taking some major damage. But what a way to come back and go for a ride like that number 3.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for him. But Brandon Elvis and Dale Ogburn were off to a good start. So, Jimmy, that's exciting for racing. So it's just you hate to see a caution like that, but it was good hard racing. I think Lucas maybe got a little tight coming out of the corner, and then just ran into the 8 car, but nothing you can do except collect it and keep on going. Glad it's a simulator and not real life, because that would have probably hurt pretty bad for Lucas.
Oh yeah, he was definitely up in the air rolling, and he, like I said, the 014 of Justin Coleman went under him as he spun up through the air. So got some height on that one. That's something you see here on short tracks. Pace car coming in right now. The 54 Brandon Neville's getting on the loud pedal, this time with Dale Ogburn on that outside. Going to allow Christopher Smith down that inside, but Christopher Smith was not able to get a good enough start, allowing Dale Ogburn to continue there in P number 2, but he was able to get single file there. He's now in P number 3. Christopher Smith's obviously making a run there for a championship, but we're keeping our eyes on that 014 of Justin Coleman, as he's been on a hot streak lately, and his with his teammate out front. So Brandon's got to do a lot of work to continue his, march back to the front here in the points, as he had a pretty good mishap there as the points just started. And I heard Discord kind of go off. Hopefully I'm still in this thing.
As someone jumped in, I didn't know who it was, but he left, so
that's fine.
Figure it out.
Stop by, say hello. I mean, I have no problem with anybody jumping in the booth with us if you want to come up here. Kind of tell us how your race is going. But I want to give a shout out to all the fans out there. Barry, Brian, thanks for stopping by, rooting for your favorite driver. If you want to see how your driver's doing, just let me know. As I'm trying to watch the field battle over the course of a few monitors here, but everybody's single file right now as we are on lap 21 of 150. And if they keep up this pace here, it won't be long where these laps will be gone, and we'll have them stage breaks here. But right now, we're all single file. Brandon Ellis out front over Dale Ogburn, Christopher Smith, Mark Stewart, Rob Hattenbeck, Justin Coleman, Austin Cooper, Christopher Cash, Larry Hezza Jr., and Clint Walker for your top 10. Back there, you got James Honeycutt, Jonathan Carter, Brandon Cooper, and Lucas Whitehead.
No, Jimmy. The 014, he's up 2 spots from his start. Luckily, he didn't take too much damage from that going over. He said that he see the hood crinkled up on his car, so maybe he got a little bit of net code there. But Justin, if you're listening, we don't see anything wrong with your car. But it's good to see them nice followed out. Try to ride these laps out. Oh wait, never mind. It's a little crinkled on the left side or right side. Not too bad. Anything major. But it is what it is. It doesn't look like it's hindering you at all. You're running some pretty good lap times comparative to your teammate. So,
Brandon Elvis out there with a new paint scheme there with the Barry Elvis Performance Fabrication Machine. Obviously, you still have Chestnut Hill on the side there on the back end, and then Dale Ogborn and the Purple Heart Homes. Christopher Smith back there and BCR Bad Company. Mark Stewart, another Bad Company racing machine. Rob Hattenback, another Bad Company racing machine. Justin Coleman with iRacing paints from Coleman Designs and Wraps. You're looking for a wrap for your livery for your race car and iRacing, look them up. I'm sure you can find yourself a decent paint job there. Austin Cooper back there in the 12 and the Gunslinger Whiskey. Larry Hezza Jr., obviously the black Goodwrench service machine here tonight. Christopher Smith back in the Cash Customs design. Walker rocking the high caliber detailing. James Honeycutt in the white Goodwrench service. Jonathan Carter in a need to sponsor car. And then Brandon Cooper over the Bass Pro Shops Club. Number 8, Lucas Whitehead. Looks like he has hung up his hat tonight, but gave it the old whirlybird back there. And obviously, having a flip like that, ruining your chances of possibly winning, and with nothing to gain anymore, sometimes it's just easier to park it for the evening. But good to see Lucas out there. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to him after the race or whatnot. But right now, it is all Brandon Ellis out to a small point, or a half a second lead over Dale Ogborn. He's got his hands full with the 80 of Christopher Smith.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, these top 3 cars have just kind of kept this simple nose to tail. Brandon obviously has that small lead. Christopher Smith is not trying to figure out where he can make a move, waiting for Dale to make a small mistake so he can capitalize and hopefully take back that second spot. So, it's been a great race so far. Everyone's looking good. Oh, it might be it. He might get a good run off and be able to dive it down. Nope, he's going to stay behind. But Dale looked like he overdrove the corner just a tad. But they're not far off from where they qualified there, Jimmy. Time hasn't really fell off too much. Probably half a second from where they qualified. So, but I mean, they start off in the 14s. 13.9, I believe, is Dale has the bested lap of the race. So interesting to see. Justin Coleman up 2 spots, hasn't really made any ground since last caution came out. Just kind of riding around behind Rob Hattenback. No point to kind of push it this early. Trying to be patient, wait for someone to make a mistake so you can get that spot. It almost looks like passing is at a premium tonight there, Jimmy, as you see everyone back there. Brandon Elvis has nothing but clear track in front of him, so it would be easy for him to hit his marks consistently every lap, as he's started to put a little bit bigger gap on the second place car of Dale Ogburn, which has a small advantage over that third place car of Christopher Smith. So, I mean, each lap it looks like it's growing probably a 10th each lap there, Jimmy.
Yeah, I can go ahead and bring up the lap history time, kind of see. I think you kind of see how Brandon Elvis is doing over Dale Ogburn as he continues to stretch out. Not quite a 10th a lap, just under that. So obviously gaining just ever so slightly as far as gap between the two drivers, but Dale has his hands full with the 80 of Christopher Smith, and now the 88 of Mark Stewart, looking to put some pressure on them as well. And then right behind Mark Stewart, the 99 of Rob Hattenback, looking down to the inside right now, looking close to that back bumper and staying away from it. Or he would have probably sent the Mark Stewart for a ride. But back there and behind them is our winner from last week, Austin Cooper. So he's got a little bit of space there, as Larry Hensley and Clint Walker are now battling side by side. But Larry Hensley doing a pretty good job. He's on running a little higher line than Clint Walker, but Clint Walker not able to quite get under him. Maybe second guessing to see if Larry's going to come down or not. But right now he's making a move, so Larry's got to be careful not to drop down on that nose of the O2 if he does get to that left rear quarter. So it could cause problems and really spin things around. But lap 50 is flown, and we are now at the stage break. So we will see where everybody stands. Will everybody follow everybody down into the pits? Will they stay out? Do they have enough fuel to go the whole way? I didn't even think about this, Derek. I mean, it's a short race. I mean, we're only just a few minutes in, and already 50 laps down, or 50 laps completed. Actually, 52 with some of these caution laps, but they are going to come down into the pits here and probably take new tires as we look back from Brandon Elvis, as we're looking to see, if drivers are going to go take tires. And you can see the right side going up. It looked like Brandon Elvis's car took a little bit longer to come up, so only 2 tires for the 54 as he is going to come out.
I don't know if Larry missed his pit stop or pit box, or if he's just staying out to try to get that. Oh no, he won't get the 1 lap lead because he's last. But it will allow him to get all 4 tires, if not 2 tires. So as the pace car is almost around, if he's going to go, he needs to go now. But it would not get caught 1 lap down, as some of the other drivers are 1 lap down.
Go.
Go.
Pace car, come on. Larry's going to get out in front of that pace car just in time. So close. But yeah, I think maybe Larry, obviously, I don't know if he missed his pit box. You can see it was as soon as he came in. And, when you start on the track, sometimes you don't know exactly where your pit box is going to be. And especially when you're coming in. And if it's the first box, if you're not expecting it to be there, you can shoot right by it, and then there's really not much to do except travel down through the pit box and go back out, come back around, and make your stop again. So that might be what happened there with the 13 of Larry Hansley, but it's going to come out, and it looks like still be in P number 7, I think. Or P number 8.
I will say, if you are in the back of the pit lane, like where Larry was, and you won't have as much time.
Just like that, the stage break is over. Brandon Elvis is back out front over Rob Hattenbeck, and then Brandon Cooper moving in that P number 3 spot. So a little bit of mix up there up front. Some of these drivers are looking to spoil that run, but right there, Brandon Elvis looking to get the win here with Rob Hattenbeck, hungry for a win, looking to push that 54 around, maybe get out front and get some laps led here as won't be long. We'll be at the middle of the race here. We'll look back a little bit. Looks like Christopher Cash still down in the pits with that number 69 machine, so I'm not quite sure what's up with Chris. But Rob Hattenbeck is looking to take the lead. Brandon Cooper back there. And then number 8, he's been having a good run. Dale Ogburn moves from P number 2 and back to P number 4. And is trying to find a way around, but is followed closely by the 88 of Mark Stewart. And then you got Christopher Smith and James Honeycutt there. Larry Hensley Jr., still in P number 8, up 6 spots from the start. So our biggest mover of the race so far, Jonathan Carter, and that number 5 in P number 9. Austin Cooper's in 10th. Justin Coleman, and then Clint Walker, Christopher Cash, and Lucas Whitehead rounds out our field here for tonight.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how, over the course of the next 40-some laps, how the 2 tires versus 4 tires are going to be a difference. If it's going to matter, and if it doesn't really matter, and you are able to hold your own, then are you going to be able to take 2 more for those guys that took 2, or you want those 4? I guess it's obviously a great time to test that theory out, considering we have one more stage break, so you can make that decision then. But so far, it seems like it doesn't matter. Rob Hattenbeck and Brandon Elvis have went out to a commanding lead right now of about a second over the third of Dale Ogburn. Rob Hattenbeck!
And the caution will fly here on lap 67 as the 99 and 54 get together ever so slightly. It doesn't look like there's any damage to that number 99. We'll catch, looks like the 54 is in good shape too, but he's going to have a lot of ground to make up there on this one here. We'll go back and just catch this what happened as these 2 drivers were battling for the lead as Rob Hattenbeck looks to go down to a lower line, and Brandon Elvis obviously is slow enough to have that car rotate just the slightest of touches. The 99 is able to check up and just watch the 54 slide around. 54 will stay off the wall as they stare at each other. Maybe not what you'd want to see in real life, as you could
the digital fingers.
Send some digital fingers or some hand signals to each other. But knowing that, hey, bro, we were up front and looking to run 1-2, but that's just hard racing, and these cars have been like that all season. The slightest touch, like I said, no damage between the 2, but definitely going to have a lot of room or a lot of ground to make up here, and in this round of the playoffs.
It's going to be interesting to see if, obviously those tires are going to be for Brandon Elvis. They're going to be really angry at him. So it'd be interesting to see if he's going to come in and change those tires, or just say, you know what, I'm going to make do with what I got. As you can, Justin Coleman coming in, taking right side tires. It looks like left side tires. Sorry, my other right side.
So you give directions just like my wife gives directions. Go turn left. You mean the right?
Hey now.
But anyways, the lights are off on the pace car, and this here is going to give the opportunity to take the lead here along with Mark Stewart. And these drivers have been pretty quick too, and it's going to take some time and patience for the 99 and the 54 to make their way back up to the field. As they are going to start to the back of the field. The one of Dale Ogborn in the inside, looking to get a lap led here, spoil these treasures here, and try to steal a race win away from the drivers that have been here throughout the whole season. But that's the challenge here, and sometimes as a hobby, sometimes things come first, and or whatever it may be, but it's good to see, they'll come back out here and get some laps in, and now he finds himself out front in the lead over Mark Stewart, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith, James Honeycutt, Larry Hensley Jr., Jonathan Carter, Austin Cooper, Justin Coleman, Brandon Elvis, and Rob Hattenbeck, and then Clint Walker. So, Justin Coleman, leading the points right now towards the back of the field, along with Brandon Elvis. So they've got some catching up to do, but drivers like Mark Stewart, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith, James Honeycutt, definitely loving this. Also, Larry Hensley Jr. up there in P number 6. Wants them leaders in the behind them, so that gives them the chance or the opportunity to not only make the top 6, but the top 4 and 3, and possibly knock off those sometimes faster drive. But Christopher Smith is going up towards the wall. We are still green. Christopher Smith is going to fall to the wayside as there is a little bit of contact. We'll see if I can catch that. What happened here? I think. Let's see what's going on here. I can catch this. You see the 80 going in. Oh, and the 8. Kind of getting a small touch from the 76. He's going to go to the high side, starts checking up, and 76 is just going to miss the 80. The 13 of Larry Hensley Jr. Avoiding that as well. The 8 on the downside on the apron, checking up. Everybody kind of trying to get by without wrecking each other. Everybody does a pretty good job, Derek. That's why we are still green here on lap 81 of 150.
That was impressive. There was a lot of going on, a lot of checking up. I believe that, Larry and James Honeycutt got real lucky there, as they might have touched and got some incident points, but nothing severe of what could have been if they didn't check up as fast as they did. But the biggest guy that took advantage of that was the 014 of Justin Coleman, which allows him to move up into the P number 5 spot from the back. And Brandon Elvis is still in the back. Brandon Cooper and Christopher Smith are in the back too. So I'm just wondering if Brandon Elvis is just taking my time before I start going, as the 014 and the 13 of Larry Hensley Jr. are battling pretty fiercely. Larry's on the outside, not giving an inch to that points leader on the inside. And
they have a little bit of time, though. They got a pretty good separation between them. They got about a second and a half before the driver behind him, but Larry's going to let the 014 go by, fall in down below, so he doesn't have to run that little bit higher line. Keep this thing green here as well. Lap 87 of 150, over halfway through here tonight already at Hickory. But right now it is Dale Ogborn out front with Mark Stewart, James Honeycutt, Justin Coleman, Larry Hensley Jr. in net P number 5, Jonathan Carter, Christopher Smith have back up there, sitting in 6th and 7th. Austin Cooper there in P number 8, Rob Hattenbeck behind him in P number 9, Clint Walker's in 10th. Brandon Elvis back there in 11th spot. Brandon Cooper looks like he has parked it for the evening.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. I think he got the worst of that and decided to take off for the night.
Justin Coleman with a move underneath the 76, taking away a podium spot from James Honeycutt. Moved that 014 into heat number 3. Larry Hensley Jr. now trying to pressure that 76 and get by him as well. But right behind them is Christopher Smith battling with Jonathan Carter, Austin Cooper, and Rob Hattenbeck.
Yeah, this was a good little battle coming over here. As Jonathan Carter's on the outside, Austin Cooper's on the inside, and Rob Hattenbeck thought for a second to take it 3 wide going down the front stretch, but thought better of it and fell back behind these two. He's going to follow Jonathan Carter into the corner and follow Austin Cooper out of the corner on the low line, as Christopher Smith has just decided to check out from this group and start trying to make his way back up to that lead pack. Rob Hattenbeck looking low on Austin Cooper, drives up, barely missed Austin Cooper. Good little battle between Austin Cooper and Jonathan Carter right here. Rob Hattenbeck's probably getting a little annoyed because he feels like he can probably get around him. So that's when your short track tempers start to flare, as Rob Hattenbeck keeps on trying to go on the inside eye on the exit. That's kind of a good line. I like it. I wish I could make that line work.
Yeah, Rob really getting that 99 to rotate down there, just not able to carry that momentum with the 12. Give him, like he showed him just a little bit of the bumper, trying to diamond it down around and catch the mistake of the 12 to try to get by. But as he's doing that, the 5 is starting to walk away from that battle. Also the 02 of Clint Walker creeping up on Rob Hattenbeck as well, as he is not able to complete that move of the 12. So very good racing back here for that 9th and 10th spot, but back up front with Dale Ogburn starting to check out just a little bit. He's got 6/10 of a lead over Mark Stewart, and then back there in P number 3 of Justin Coleman, and then you have James Honeycutt and Larry Hensley Jr., and we've seen that week in and week out. These two just continue to battle back and forth and looking to go, get by here. But we're on lap 101 of 150 in the books already. 2/3 of this race completed. Man, I think I just hit the start button and go live.
I know it's been an awesome race. Kind of hard, action-packed. We had that one incident where we kept it clean.
Here's a little bit of strategy here. You have a few drivers going in the pits, some staying out. Dale Ogburn, Justin Coleman, Larry Hensley Jr., along with Austin Cooper staying out. Brandon Elvis, Christopher Smith, Rob Hattenbeck, Larry, James Honeycutt, Jonathan Carter, Clint Walker in the pits. Brandon Cooper has parked it for the evening, and Christopher Cash is sitting in the pits, but he might be walking up and down the lane there, pacing just a little bit as his night came to an end a little earlier than he wanted. And then Lucas Whitehead with that wicked crash.
It was crazy. But I mean, a big strategy move for these guys in the top 5, maybe 6. I believe Jonathan Carter didn't go in. But Brandon Elvis, I don't know if he went in either, but he's in the...
He did.
Yeah, he did? Who, did Jonathan Carter go into?
Yeah, a lot of the guys in the back have gone in. I will go ahead, I'll bring up the pit lap so the fans at home can see, and also my co-host there. You can see, start with Jonathan Carter coming in there at lap 101. So Carter, Elvis, Walker, Honeycutt, Smith, and Hattenbeck all coming in at 101. So we're going to see if tires play a huge role here, if they're going to be able to keep it down to that inside, as that seems to be how drivers have been able to get around each other. So is it enough? Is 50 lap tires on these super just late model stock cars going to be good enough to get around these top 5 here?
Well, we'll put it this way. James Honeycutt was P number 10 when he came in, and he's P number 9. So that just shows you the difference there in strategies. But green flag is out. Dale Ogburn is out on that loud pedal, going down into turn 1. Mark Stewart is going to be on the outside. He's going to give it all he got to try to take that lead away from Dale Ogburn and try to collect at least 1 bonus point for leading a lap. Dale Ogburn's on the inside. Oh, Mark Stewart, hit the wall.
Lap
On the exit.
a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're too wide behind. Two leaders are too wide. Justin Coleman doesn't know where to go. Larry Hensley Jr. and Austin Cooper are too wide. Brandon Elvis and Jonathan Carter are too wide behind them. So plenty of going on right here as Larry Hensley Jr. is on the outside of Austin Cooper trying to get. Oh, Brandon Elvis trying to go good down on the. So they're still trying to go 3 wide. It's awesome racing. Jonathan Carter and Austin Cooper are now battling. Larry Hensley Jr. has cleared this pack and said, I don't want to be a part of this no more. And it sets his sights on the lead 3. So, yeah, Jimmy, this is getting exciting. You know, Brandon Elvis is trying to get up front. He has Austin Cooper and Jonathan Carter. Oh, they touched. Oh, Brandon Elvis turns the 12 of Austin Cooper. No real damage to those cars. So,
no real
it's
damage.
unfortunate.
Caution is out here on lap 111. And we see that there live as Brandon Elvis was trying to get around Austin Cooper. And we will take it back here, and you can see that the 12 of Austin Cooper got in a little too hot there in the corner. Brandon Elvis was able to start getting his car underneath, but nowhere to go. The 12 trying to stay off the drivers up above him, and a little bit of a race incident, obviously, as the 12 was trying to recover, but unable to do so. But Larry Hensley Jr., where's he going?
He has gone into the pits to get 4 fresh tires by the looks of
different call there from Larry Hensley Jr., moving him back a few spots. But it's going to have fresh tires, and it's going to have a few more better tires than some of the others. But with all the racing out there, I don't know if I would have gave up the track position, as these racers are trying to do some damage control and get some decent finishes here. Justin Coleman in that P number 3 after starting towards not having the greatest start for the heat race. But then you have Mark Stewart's up front, and we've known how fast and aggressive that 88 can be, and he's going to be a tough cookie to pass up there for sure. 33 of Dale Ogburn, and P number 2, Justin Coleman in 3rd, and Jonathan Carter making a comeback in that the number 5 machine, currently sitting in 4th. James Honeycutt in 5th, and then you have Christopher Smith, Brandon Elvis, Rob Hattenbeck, Clint Walker, Larry Hensley Jr., and Austin Cooper. So be watching basically this mid-pack here as some of those drivers want to get in that top 5 to keep their playoff hopes alive here. But we are going to go double file on lap 115. The lights are off on the pace car, getting ready to go back to green.
Jimmy, I wouldn't put it past Larry to think, why not come in and get the extra tires. Maybe on that stint he was like, didn't feel the car was that great, but we're off, and Mark Stewart's on the loud pedal going into turn 1, gets a nice little jump. Dale Ogburn is going to jump in front of Justin Coleman, checking him up a little bit, and then Jonathan Carter's going to be on the outside of Justin Coleman, as he might be able to clear him, and he does. Now it's back to Christopher Smith and James Honeycutt battling side by side. That was close. Checked up the rest of the field as James Honeycutt and Christopher Smith still battling for a spot right there for P number 5. He's getting in a little hard.
A little bit of shoulder checking there between the 80 and 76. And if not, it was really close. But those 2 drivers battling out, it's going to allow the top 4 to kind of go around. So will those drivers let up or keep going? But the 80 is going to finally make the move on the outside. The 5 single crossband down to the inside. Caution flag is out at lap 119. As you can see, you've seen it live here. Is the 5 is kind of self-spitting, bringing out another caution here. After that great mid-race run, a couple cautions coming into play here, and you can just see the 5 trying to just down the apron. I know the driver's trying to get down there the shortest line possible, but when that car came back up off the apron, it was definitely upset and off balance, and when he got on the gas, it spun himself around. So maybe a small mistake there by the 5 going that low or trying something different anyways, but did not work out for the 5 as he was the only one to go around. No damage, but definitely losing some time, burning up some tires. But he is down into the pits right now, I'm sure, to make sure he gets it. But it looks like he's going to go a lap down as he's still in the pits.
I mean, heartfelt would spin right there. But, I mean, that's what happens when you're trying to get the most out of the car and out of the track and just get a little antsy on the gas pedal. I know you can make that apron work, but it's very temperamental. So,
yeah, you can see the view. Well, from my view, hopefully the viewers are home. You can see the all the debris on that high side. You know, the marbles kind of like reflecting there on the high side. And there's some down there on that inside too. So, not the cleanest of track, being down that low with all the tire wearing off as these drivers are getting around here tonight. But right now it's the 88. Will Mark Stewart finish out front tonight and get himself a win? Will be Dale Ogborn, the return driver, or Justin Coleman? Can he do it 3 times in a row? And then you have Christopher Smith, James Honeycutt, Brandon Elvis, Rob Hattenbeck, Clint Walker, Larry Hanser Jr., and Austin Cooper. 10 drivers still remaining out there. About 26 laps, 27 laps remaining. That'll be 26 this time by. So getting this thing down to almost a shootout of the heat race.
Sorry.
10 cars, 5 rows, going to green. Mark Stewart out front down on turn number 1, followed by Dale Ogborn down that low side. Justin Coleman in P number 3, looking to get another great finish here to keep his championship run alive. Christopher Smith in P number 4. Brandon Ellis made him back up to P number 5, battling with James Honeycutt back there at mid-pack as James Honeycutt has that inside line as Brandon Elvis is trying to use that top side to get around that 76. 76 not quite able to get that car to turn to get that run off. And Rob Hattenbeck, allows Rob Hattenbeck to kind of get up on that back bumper as well, looking for that 76 to make a move as starts getting a little later in the race here, and the drivers start getting a little bit more desperate and start pushing their cars a little bit harder, trying to make things work. At this point, you know, trying to get their positions, but the 14 getting a little bit sideways is going to allow the 80 of Christopher Smith to kind of go to the outside. That gives room for the 54 of Brandon Elvis to go underneath the 80. So because of that checkup that the 80 had to do is going to allow the 54 to get by. 76 of James Honeycutt tried to take advantage of that as well, but Rob Hattenbeck on that outside is going to be careful as the 76 is trying to push that machine out as well. And then the 02 of Clint Walker is there. He's in P number 8. He is up 3 spots here tonight as well.
Yeah, Jimmy, it looked like Austin Cooper and Larry Hensley Jr. on that on the restart got into each other. Larry got tapped from the rear, and Austin helped him going straight to hit him in the left front to keep him going straight. So that's why the caution didn't come out. But it happened real quick and real fast. We didn't even notice. I wonder why they fell back, and that's the reason why. But as we can see, Justin Coleman trying to dive it in on good old Dale Ogburn in that number 1 car, trying to make that stick, but he also has his teammate trying to breathe down his neck and P number 4. So the sense of urgency is there as Justin Coleman's trying to make a run on Dale Ogburn. Just nice hard run, giving each other plenty of room in the front as they I don't know if they touched it. If they didn't, they got real close. As you can see, they are touching. Coming up the corner.
A little bit of shoulder rubbing going on for P number 2 as that 014 looking to push that cut 1 out just a little bit farther. Then you have the 54 Brandon Elvis on the back bumper of his teammate and probably cheering him on like, come on, get by so I can get in there too. The one to the 54 tagged him. That's going to pull out a caution here on with 14 laps to go on lap 137. a bird's eye view there. The 54 and the 14 and 1 all battling right there in front of Christopher Smith. They cross the start finish line, heading down into turn 1. And maybe some net code there, Derek. And I'm going to go ahead and rewind that here. We're going to jump on board Christopher Smith and go to the nose, and we'll get a bird's eye or a close view of what we thought was contact, but looked like.
No, it's definitely contact.
Definitely just a touch. You can just see how light that contact was, And the 80 Christopher Smith getting down, just clearing by. Whew, that was close.
It looked like it's like that finger, like don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, and you give them the ever so touch and annoy your brother or sister when you were kids. That's basically what it looks like. But Brandon Elvis is going to get the UL for that, so he's going to fall back. But we got 12 laps to go, or 11 laps to go there, Jimmy, and I hate to say it, cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions. 10 laps to go. Lights are still out, or still on. Yep, well, still on there as we jump on top of the 88 of Mark Stewart. Here with only 10 remaining, the light should go off this time by, so we'll be down to 9 laps to go, and then when they go green, we will have 8 laps to go. The urgency to win and get the most points tonight is only getting greater by the lap. Who will come out the victor here tonight?
Last week Mark Stewart had a chance and got wrecked towards the end of with this amount of laps left in the race. Just trying to get too much on the starts, but granted, it's the playoffs. You got to get everything you can. He was obviously super fast last week. Just got caught up with a racing incident, but he is now on the loud pedal. The green is out. He's going to take the lead over Justin Coleman and Christopher Smith. There, Christopher Smith and Justin Coleman are going to battle side by side, going out of 2. Side by side, going down into turn 3. This is going to be a nail biter for these two because they're both battling Christopher Smith in 3rd place in the points. Justin Coleman leading the points. Be a big win for Christopher Smith if he can get in front of to bite into that lead of Justin Coleman that he has. Ooh, as they're battling really hard right now. It's
Oh, and he got hit hard back there as the caution flies here on lap 145. We'll go back and check to see how everything kind of ended up here with the 76 really trying to push that car here as he got sideways. I think with a little bit of assist by the 99 as we watch the 76 go sideways, trying to lock it up, but locked it up sideways, and the 1 of Dale Ogborn is going to put that 76 up on its side, straighten them out, but definitely some pretty good damage, I would believe, there on that 76 after that one.
Jimmy, that's just how fast you can go from having a good night to having a bad night. Especially for James Honeycutt and Dale Ogburn.
Yeah, James Honeycutt had a fast repair in his pocket, so the crew went down, pressed the reset button, and got that 76 back out on the track. But he's going to have to work his tail off to move back up to the field. Not what James Honeycutt wanted there at the end. But there really wasn't much you could do, as when you're sitting sideways in the middle of the track, you just made the biggest target possible for yourself, for others to not be able to avoid you. But Mark Stewart's out front, maybe loving these cautions, maybe not. 3 laps to go. Lights are on, still on the pace car. We will go for a green-white checker here attempt, and I believe
we got 2.
We have 2, right?
Yep. 2 green-white checkers, not cautions, but my mouth moves faster than my brain sometimes. But yeah, no, it's a 2 green-white checkers. It's going to be interesting because no one's safe. Everyone's going to be battling for what they can get. And unfortunately for Dale Ogburn and Brandon Elvis, they're in the back of the pack. So Brandon Elvis is in 8th. He's had a fast race car. He's going to be behind Larry. So
it is I think it's a whole nother race, obviously, being in the back, trying to work your way through the field and try to be aggressive and get every spot possible. 3 laps to go, 2 laps to go as they cross the start finish line here. And can they make it around this track just a few more times? And the 13 of Larry Hensley Jr., they are on the final lap as Brandon Elvis goes to the inside. It is Mark Stewart out front over Christopher Smith, Justin Coleman. Then Larry Hensley Jr. and Brandon Elvis battle side by side as they come down to the start-finish line. And it will be Larry Hensley Jr. taking P number 4 with also being the biggest mover of the race. Then Brandon Elvis finishing in 5th. Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper. And then you have Dale Ogborn, Rob Hattenback, Jonathan Carter, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Cash, Lucas Whitehead for our 14-car field here. So great race. Mark Stewart walking away the winner here tonight in that number 88 Bad Company machine.
What's Christopher race for? Bad Company?
No.
Yep.
He's Bad Company Racing as well. So,
that's teammates. And then Justin Coleman.
Yeah, teammates.
Larry Hensley Jr.
2.
Up 10.
Yeah, so we
Brandon Elvis 4th.
We'll stop this.
Down 4.
We'll stop this ticker and we'll bring up the results real quick. Come on, ticker, stop. We'll go to the feature, hit to show the results. Mark Stewart, Christopher Smith, Justin Coleman, Larry Hensley Jr., Brandon Elvis, Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper, Dale Ogburn, Rob Hattenback, Jonathan Carter, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Cash, and Lucas Whitehead.
I mean, that gives Mark Stewart a heck of a jump in the point, considering he was tied for 6th place with Brandon Cooper, and Brandon Cooper finishing in P number 12. And then obviously Todd Lanfear not being here. So those are your 2 drivers more likely being on the bubble for next week's elimination race at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, with the points, with the way things kind of finished here tonight. Next week, if this week wasn't important, next week's really going to be important, as only the top 6 in points will advance in the playoffs next week. The top 8 are still in it, but yeah, we're still winding down here. So right now, just kind of letting the drivers calm down for just a minute, and then we will go ahead and get those top 3 down here in the booth and talk to them just a little bit and see how their race went for them.
Who was 3rd? Justin Coleman.
Justin Coleman.
I don't see him there up here. I don't see him in the Discord. Nope, I don't see him. Only people I see is Christopher Smith and Mark Stewart.
Scored a bit on the light side tonight.
Well, I'll bring in our P number 2 finisher of Christopher Smith might have moved up. He did. All right, we'll pull him down. Hey, Christopher, it's Jimmy and Derek. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, congratulations on your P number 2. You had an eventful race tonight. I believe you started P number 2 and finished P number 2. I believe you did fall back in the earlier in the race. So, why don't you tell us about your exciting night for tonight and how you did?
Yeah, man. Trying to save some tire. Didn't really feel the fastest. but kept it clean and brought it home P2.
Did you feel like you had something for him if you were able to keep it green, or do you feel like that little bit of damage on your left front hindered you a little bit?
Nah, there was no way I was running them down. It was just basically just get in when I can get there.
I got you. Well, we all, obviously tonight's not the elimination race. Next week, we are going to the Milwaukee Mile. How do you feel about going there the next week?
Not good.
He's honest.
Not looking forward to that.
In his voice. You hear the fear in your voice.
Not looking forward to that at all. So we'll have to see what we can do.
I mean, I've never particularly raced on it. I heard it's very bumpy. It's a lot of fun, but it's bumpy. That's what I've heard. But hopefully we get to talk to you next week, and I'll give you some time to give a shout out to any friends and family and sponsors.
Yeah, man. Thanks my wife for letting me do this. Say hey to my dad. I know he's watching. Bad Company Racing, Coleman Designs, Chastain Law Firm, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast.
No problem, man. Well, everyone, that's your P number 2, the number 80 of Christopher Smith in the Bad Company Racing Machine. Congratulations on your P2, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that was the number 2 finisher here tonight in the 80 Christopher Smith. But now looking to talk to the winner here tonight of Mark Stewart. So Mark, Jimmy, and Derek up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
I got you, 10-4.
Hey, you finally get the 88 up here on that top spot. It's a pretty eventful night. A few cautions throughout the evening with some self spins and some light taps. But the 88's been strong through a lot of weeks, and just haven't quite found yourself up here. But great run here tonight. Obviously, we're moving on to the Milwaukee Mile before we cut off anybody that's still in that playoff hunt right now. So still 8 drivers still in there, and I believe you're one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah, I am barely after the last race, but yeah, I'm in there.
Well, but this tonight will better your chances of making the top 6. How do you feel going the Milwaukee Mile, and what do you think about making possibly that top 3 for that final championship race?
Well, no, Milwaukee, for me, it's a tough track. So we'll see. It's a weird track. I can never get it down, but maybe I'll have to put some extra practice in this week to see what it's about. But I'm hoping, man. I've had some good runs. I finally was able to get it done this week, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always good to win one of these races. You got some stiff competition out there. The 014 Justin Coleman finishing in 3rd. He was leading the points here coming into tonight's race. Brandon Elvis, always a threat to win, kind of getting tied up through some mid-pack traffic. And then obviously Christopher Smith, been pretty relentless of getting some pretty steady finishes throughout the season. But you finally break it up here on for the win of the season. And congratulations. So just want to say congratulations from CRN and all the fans out there, and give you a little bit of time for any shout outs or thanks that you may have.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you guys for being in the booth and hosting and doing the broadcast. It's really awesome. This BCR, my guys are there. My guy Todd wasn't able to race tonight. We missed him, but he was there in spirit. I think he helped me get that win. Just Dale and Chris, and we work really well together, so it's pretty cool. That's pretty much it, and hopefully we can do something good next week too.
Yeah, Milwaukee Mile is definitely going to be on your mind as you continue to march forward into the championship races as they finish out here. Only 3 more to go for the Smoky Mountain Late Model Stock Car Tour. But again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
You too, bud.
And is Justin Coleman's around? Is P3 around? I don't see him down there anywhere, Derek. So, but again, Justin, I know we've talked to you in the past after 2 wins, but another podium finish here tonight. So, congratulations on that. Don't want to have that overlooked, as well deserved. Working your way from that heat race, and then all through the race to get that P number 3. So, congratulations to the 014, and obviously to the rest of the field here tonight, Derek. As the I'll go ahead and bring up the results one more time for the fans to see. As the excuse me, not points. So just for the fans to see the finishing order here. But Mark Stewart obviously on top in the 88, Christopher Smith in the 80, Justin Coleman in the 014, Larry Hensley Jr. comes in fourth, MP number 4 again tonight, being in the 13 car. Brandon Elvis in the 54 finishes in 5th. Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper, Dale Ogburn, and Rob Hattenback for your top 10, and then Jonathan Carter, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Cash, and Lucas Whitehead. So thank you to all the drivers that have come out tonight, and thank you for participating. We do have 3 more races here. Anybody that's out there, if you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, please do. CRN is on a march forward to hopefully make partner here soon after breaking that 1,000 subscriber mark by all you fantastic fans. But Derek, you have anything for the fans out there, or any thoughts going forward?
Next week is going to be a big week, considering it's an elimination race. And then after that, it's the round of 6. So we're going to drop 3 guys, and then go into the championship with the top 3. So right now, you got Justin Coleman, Brandon Elvis, and Christopher Smith at the top. So, it's going to be a really difficult time for these guys to try to catch those gentlemen. Obviously, Brandon Elvis had a little bit of trouble tonight. He still had a strong finish. So did Justin Coleman and Christopher Smith and Mark Stewart. So Mark Stewart making a big gain tonight. So it's just going to be interesting to see how everything plays out next week and the remaining of the season there, Jimmy.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fantastic wrap up here to the awesome season that some of these drivers had. Some obviously having better runs throughout the season than others, but the racing has been very interesting, and they've kept it pretty wild here, as short track racing can get a little edgy, and it really will test your patience with some other drivers that maybe they don't have the same skill level you do, or somebody out there still learning, or whatever it may be. But in any case, I think the drivers are having a pretty good time out here. Being frustrated, I think, is part of racing, as Derek can contest that there is days that I get frustrated pretty quickly over some silly stuff. But anyways, that's it from me and Derek here at Hickory, and until next week, we will see you at the Milwaukee Mile. But I guess until then, we'll see you on the track.
Meow, 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 meow.